I hope you are well, healthy, and safe. Today, I want to speak with you about something many people feel, but rarely have the courage to admit. It is the quiet suffering of living each day without joy. You wake up and the world feels gray. You move through your daily routine, but everything feels heavy, slow, and disconnected. You look at things that once brought you happiness, but now they feel distant, almost meaningless. Nothing excites you, nothing inspires you, nothing touches you the way it used to, and you begin to wonder if something inside you has broken. But I want you to understand something very important. You are not broken. You are overwhelmed. You are tired in a way sleep cannot fix. You are carrying invisible weight, emotional weight, mental weight, spiritual weight. Over time, this weight blocks your ability to feel joy. Joy doesn't disappear. It becomes buried, hidden under layers of responsibilities, expectations, disappointments, and unspoken emotions you never allowed yourself to process. Joy fades when your inner world becomes neglected, when your mind is constantly running but never resting, when your heart is constantly giving but never receiving, when your soul is constantly enduring but never expressing. Most people try to fix this emptiness by focusing on the outside world. They change jobs, change relationships, change routines, buy new things, chase new experiences. But the emptiness remains. The lack of joy follows them because the root is not outside, it is inside. The mind loses joy when it becomes disconnected from the present moment. When your thoughts live in the past, they drag you into regret and guilt. When your thoughts live in the future, they drown you in fear and anxiety. And slowly, without noticing, you stop living in the now. You become a prisoner of your own mind, trapped in memories you cannot change and worried about moments that have not yet arrived. In this mental storm, joy cannot survive. Joy only exists here, in this breath, in this moment, in this awareness. And this is why you feel emotionally numb. Because your mind has wandered too far from where life is actually happening. Life is not in the past. Life is not in the future. Life is here. And joy is a natural companion of presence. If you want joy to return, you must first return to yourself. You must pause and breathe. You must sit with your emotions instead of outrunning them. You must allow your mind to settle, to slow down, to soften. Joy is sensitive. It cannot enter a mind that is constantly tense and restless. It cannot enter a heart that is too exhausted to receive it. So let this be the beginning of remembering who you are, beneath the stress, beneath the expectations, beneath the noise. When you start paying attention again, when you become aware again, the journey back to joy begins. You have not lost joy. You simply forgot where to look. If nothing brings you joy anymore, it means your soul is tired, not your body, not your daily schedule, not the amount of work you do, your soul. And when the soul becomes tired, it does not shout loudly like the body does. It does not collapse the way the body collapses. Instead, it whispers. It whispers through your lack of excitement, through your emotional numbness, through your inability to feel joy even when something good happens. It whispers through those moments when you are surrounded by people, yet you feel completely alone, disconnected, unseen. This quiet exhaustion of the soul is one of the most misunderstood experiences of modern life. Many people feel it, but very few know how to interpret it. You begin to think something is wrong with you. You start questioning your life, your choices, your future. But the truth is, nothing is wrong with you. Something is simply missing. And that missing piece is your connection to yourself. Every human being has a flame inside them. It is the flame of purpose, curiosity, passion, and inner aliveness. When this flame burns brightly, the world feels vibrant, days feel meaningful, and even small experiences bring happiness. But when you constantly live your life for other people, when you constantly suppress your emotions to appear strong, when you ignore your own needs because you are trying to keep everything together, that flame becomes small. Not gone, not destroyed, but small. And when the inner flame is small, everything in life feels dull. Colors lose their brightness. Time loses its rhythm. The future loses its excitement. Your soul becomes tired when you stop listening to it. When you keep pushing yourself beyond your emotional limits without any moments of rest, silence, or honesty. When you keep pretending everything is fine, even though your heart is quietly asking for help. When you keep giving love to others while forgetting to give even a little bit to yourself. A tired soul does not need more pressure. It needs gentleness. It needs compassion. It needs moments of stillness where it can breathe again. You cannot force joy into your life. Joy grows when you create the right inner environment for it. You must learn to be kind to yourself again. You must allow yourself to feel your pain instead of running from it. Emotions that are avoided do not disappear. They drain your energy from the inside. Ask yourself, when was the last time you listened to your heart without judgment? When was the last time you allowed yourself to cry, not because you were weak, but because you were human? When was the last time you did something only for yourself? Something that made your soul feel warm even for a moment? These small acts are not selfish. They are necessary. They are signals to your inner world that you are ready to reconnect. Joy returns when your soul feels safe, rested, and acknowledged. You are not empty, you are disconnected. And reconnection is the medicine your heart has been waiting for. Another reason nothing brings you joy is because your life has become filled with too much noise. Not just the noise you hear with your ears, but the noise you absorb with your mind. The constant noise of notifications, opinions, comparisons, responsibilities, and expectations. Over time, this overwhelming noise numbs your ability to feel joy, because the mind becomes overstimulated. When the mind is overstimulated, it stops responding to simple beauty. It becomes desensitized. It forgets how to feel deeply. Think about it. When every moment of your day is filled with distraction, your inner world becomes restless. You check your phone even when there is no reason. You scroll without purpose. You consume information you do not need. You compare your life to people you do not know. You fill your mind with fragments of other people's lives until there is no space left for your own. In this state, joy struggles to exist, not because life is empty, but because your mind is too crowded to notice anything meaningful. Joy requires sensitivity. It requires presence. It requires openness. But overstimulation closes the heart and exhausts the mind. When everything around you is loud, even the most beautiful things feel silent. When you are constantly running mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you no longer have the capacity to appreciate the small moments that used to bring you happiness. A peaceful morning, a warm cup of tea, a quiet walk, the sound of wind. These things lose their magic not because they changed, but because you changed. To regain joy, you must learn the art of subtracting. Subtract the noise, subtract the unnecessary distractions, subtract people who drain you. Subtract the habits that consume your mental space without giving you anything meaningful in return. Life becomes brighter when it becomes lighter. And life becomes lighter when you stop carrying things that are not yours. You must also understand the power of silence. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is nourishment. In silence, the mind heals. In silence, the heart reveals itself. In silence, you reconnect with what is real inside you. When was the last time you allowed yourself to sit alone without reaching for your phone? When was the last time you took a walk without music, without distractions, just listening to your breath and the world around you? These small moments of silence reset your mind. They increase your emotional sensitivity. They rebuild your capacity to feel joy. Nature teaches us something important. Flowers do not bloom in storms. They bloom in calmness. The same is true for joy. Joy does not bloom in chaos. Joy blooms in clarity. And clarity comes from reducing the noise that surrounds you and the noise that lives inside you. Do not underestimate the small actions that bring stillness into your life. A few minutes of deep breathing, a simple meditation, spending time in nature, closing your eyes and feeling the moment. These are not insignificant moments. These are acts of self-respect. These are invitations for joy to return. Your mind is not meant to be constantly overloaded. It is meant to be aware, alive and present. When you learn to quiet the noise and reconnect with your inner world, you will notice something miraculous. Joy was never lost. It was simply drowned out by the noise. And the moment the noise fades, the joy begins to rise again. Finally, nothing brings you joy anymore, because you have forgotten the simplest and most powerful truth. Joy is not something you chase outside yourself. Joy is something you uncover within yourself. It is already there. It has always been there. But over time, it became buried under layers of fears, insecurities, disappointments, responsibilities, and emotional wounds that you never fully healed. When your inner world becomes cluttered, joy becomes hidden. And the more you search for it in external things, the more distant it feels. Most people spend their entire lives chasing joy in the wrong direction. They believe joy will come when they achieve something big, when they buy something new, when someone enters their life, or when the future becomes perfect. But this mindset creates an endless cycle of waiting. Waiting for the next success, waiting for the next moment, waiting for the next validation. The heart becomes stuck in tomorrow, while joy only lives in now. You must understand this clearly. Joy is not a gift life gives you. Joy is a natural expression of a peaceful mind and an open heart. When your mind is calm, you feel joy. When your heart is free, you feel joy. When your soul feels seen, heard, and understood by you, joy rises naturally. It does not need to be chased. It needs to be allowed. So how do you allow joy to return? You begin by reconnecting with yourself, not the version of yourself the world expects, the real you, the you beneath the pressure, the you beneath the fear, the you beneath the exhaustion, the you who has been quietly waiting for you to slow down and listen. Reconnect with your breath. Your breath is your anchor. Every slow and conscious breath brings you back to the present moment. It reminds you that you are alive, that you are here, and that life is happening now. When you breathe with awareness, the mind softens and the heart opens. Reconnect with your body. The body carries emotional memory. It holds the stress you ignored, the sadness you hid, the fear you suppressed. When you move gently, stretch, walk, or sit in stillness, you release some of that emotional weight. A lighter body creates a lighter mind, and a lighter mind creates space for joy. Reconnect with gratitude. Not the forced kind, but the quiet awareness of small blessings. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to wake up joy. When you appreciate the simple things, your inner world expands. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. And joy grows wherever gratitude lives. Reconnect with intention. Move through your day with purpose. Make your life slower, simpler, more meaningful. When you stop rushing and start living with awareness, joy finds you effortlessly. And finally, reconnect with compassion. Speak to yourself with kindness. Treat yourself with the softness you offer to others. Heal the old wounds. Let go of the stories that hurt you. Forgive yourself for the times you abandoned your own heart. Because the moment you return to yourself, something beautiful happens. Joy returns to you. It rises from within, quietly, gently, naturally. You begin to feel alive again, not because your life changed, but because you did. And when this inner joy awakens, the world becomes brighter, lighter, and full of meaning once more.